Hey guys, today I want to talk about Caroline Kennedy and her relationship to Venus and the falling Christmas star, or the Wormwood star from Revelation 8:11. I want to show you how Caroline Kennedy, her whole life has been coded around Revelation 8:11. And if you're not familiar with my channel, the focus of my channel is Revelation 8:11 and the number coding from the book of Revelation. And I've been doing these videos for about Wormwood since October of 2016. So to get to this point, there's been a lot of work to get to just this page right here. And what I'm showing here is the number coding of Revelation 8:11 in relation to the great earthquake from Revelation 6:12 and the angel of the bottomless pit from Revelation 9:11. Revelation 6:12, we move 33 verses to Revelation 8:11, the falling wormwood star, and then 13 more verses to Revelation 9:11. And this 33:13 is the 24th star number, and it's very important. I would say this is the basis for the authentic Bible code, if you want to call it that. And I just like to say that along the way here, I've had a lot of help from some other YouTube channels, especially Bobby Simpson. And he's put out some great content here lately. I'm going to leave a link to one of his videos in the description. But he turned me on to this Caroline Kennedy coding quite a while ago. He's done some videos and stuff about her, and we kind of share information back and forth. So I want to show you my research and how it relates to Revelation 8:11. So if we go back here and look at this relationship between Revelation 6:12, 8:11, and 9:11, is 33:13. If we look at the King James Bible, it's quite a simple code, I guess. I guess I wouldn't expect it to be too technical or too complicated. If there is Bible coding, and there is in the Bible here, but if we look at the 13th verse of the Bible, that's Leviticus 19:31, and 19 is the 8th prime, and 31 is the 11th prime. That gets us to our 8:11 and our 33:13 relationship again that we see in Revelation. And if we go to the very center chapter of the Bible, which is Psalm 117, prime factorization of 117 is 3 times 3 times 13, another 33:13. Just confirming this relationship here between 8:11, 6:12, and 9:11. And if we go look at this Leviticus 19:31, we're going to look at the gematria value of this verse. And I'm just going to show you the simplest ciphers here in gematria. Ordinal, which is this A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, and reduction. Just reducing those numbers. But Any gematria coding, I guess, you could find in the Bible would be based on probably the simplest of these ciphers. It's not overly complicated. But if we look at this verse here, Leviticus 19:31, the 3313th verse of the Bible, in the full reduction or the numerological cipher, that verse sums to 466, and the 466th prime number is 3313 again. So there is, I guess, without a doubt, deliberate coding of this 3313 throughout the Bible. There's probably more to find, but probably the easiest to find and best examples are right here. And I'm going to be showing you how all these 3313s and 811s apply to Caroline Kennedy. And one more thing I want to show you here. If we look at Revelation 8:11 itself, Revelation 8:11 has an ordinal value of 1377, and we're going to be talking about this 1377 quite a bit today. And I've talked about the 567 before, but 1377 also very relevant to the Wormwood puzzle. So continuing on here, talking about the Wormwood star and how it's related to Venus and the falling Christmas star. If we look at the magic square of Venus, the magic square of Venus sums to 1225. Of course, Christmas falls on the date 1225. So what I want to do here is I want to look at Caroline Kennedy's birthday and the location of Venus when she was born. She was born on November 27th, 1957. And if we look at the location of Venus, it was in Sagittarius. And so now I want to look at 2019, the next time that Sagittarius or Venus hits Sagittarius in 2019. So if we watch Venus here, the boundary of Sagittarius is right here, and on November 22nd, very late in the evening, let's see here exact time, just before midnight on 11/22/2019, Venus enters Sagittarius again. And of course, if you're you should know what the 11/22 date is. The 11/22 is the anniversary of her father's assassination, John F. Kennedy. (11/22/2019), the 56th anniversary of the JFK assassination. And what I want to show you here about this date, we're going to find our first 1377. (11/22/2019) is 13.0.7.0.7 on the Mayan calendar. This is our first 1377. And I'll go back and show you here the day she was born. She was born in the Islamic year 1377 5/4/1377 on the Islamic calendar. And real quick, I'll show you some interesting things about this 5/4 or the 54 in relation to the 1377. If you spell out the word 54 in English Extended cipher, I believe this is a very relevant cipher. I use this cipher quite a bit. And also, what's interesting about 54 is it also shares the same ordinal gematria as Wormwood, the 126. It's kind of interesting to show you guys that, the 1377 and the 54 on the Islamic calendar. And so if we continue on here, we're going to look at Carolyn Kennedy's birthday, and we're going to add 10,377 days, which is a 1377. And if we add 10,377 days to her birthday, we land on 4/26/1986. Add that up for you guys real quick. April 26, 1986. And of course, I talked about this many times since the very first Wormwood video I did. But 4/26/86 is the Chernobyl nuclear meltdown. And of course, Chernobyl in Ukrainian means wormwood. Another 1377, directly related to the Revelation 8:11. And if we look at Christmas, once again, on Christmas 12/25/2019, Carolyn Kennedy will be 62 years and 29 days old, and 6229 is the 811th prime number for our Revelation 8:11. And also, if we take her name, Caroline Bouvier Kennedy, it sums to 247 in the English ordinal cipher. Show you guys that real quick. Caroline Bouvier Kennedy, 247. And what makes that so significant is that on Christmas, this year, 12/25, begins a new moon, and it's lunation 1200. And the way to figure out the millennium lunation is to subtract 953 from this lunation. So her name in ordinal gematria sums to the millennial lunation, the day she's 62 years and 29 days old. Also, I'll show you some more 3313s and how it's related to the Wormwood star. Christmas, of course, is 12/25 on our calendar, but on the Roman calendar or the 10-month calendar of Romulus, this would be written 10/25, and the prime factorization of 10/25 is 5 times 5 times 41. This is the 3rd, and 13th primes. Back to our 3313. The 24th star number. The 3rd, and the 13th prime. Another 3313 is that Christmas on the Hebrew calendar is 9/27/5780. And if we look at the prime factorization of 9/27, it's 3 times 3 times 103, another 3313. There's the 3313 with 927. And I'll show you that on the calendar here. (9/27) on the Hebrew calendar. And also, if we sum the month and date on the Hebrew calendar with the year, 9/27 plus 5780 equals 6707. And what's interesting about that is that Christmas 2019 falls within the 955th week after 9/11, and the base 10, base 12 relationship here, 955 base 10 and the 677 in base 12. And without the 0 here, we have the 677. Very interesting connection to Christmas and the 955th week after 9/11. I've shown that base 10, base 12 relationship many times before. It's very significant. Let's see if I missed anything here. One more interesting thing. If we look at the Chernobyl disaster, that was 4/26/1986. And we look at that in relation to Christmas 2019. It's going to be a total of exactly 404 months. And that's significant because there are 404 total verses in Revelation from the Chernobyl disaster to Christmas. And just in case you're wondering here where I get that information from the verses from the Bible here, on the Gematrinator channel, or excuse me, the Gematrinator website, he has the King James Bible chapters and verses entered into an Excel spreadsheet. So you can look at the chapters and verses. They're off by 1 here, but if we go down, and look here, 33:14, which would actually be the 33:13 verse, is Leviticus 19:31. This is all the information entered here. Kind of makes it easy to find and look up stuff. But just wanted to show you guys all of the Caroline Kennedy coding in relation to Wormwood and Revelation. Caroline Kennedy, Donald Trump, Barack Obama, and Pope Francis all share very significant numbers and relationships to Revelation, but her numbers follow it very, very closely, especially Revelation 8:11. Alright guys, thanks for watching.